falling to Nicolas Massu, as you mentioned, who had that great match with Sargsyan. And Fernando Gonzalez, the men from Chile, winning the gold medal. Kiefer teaming up with Rainer Schüttler, a surprise run, really, in the doubles for the Germans. And, of course, Tim Henman winning the silver medal back in '96 with Neil Broad.
Henman gifts Kiefer a break point early on in the third. Yeah, in fact, the Germans had 4 match points in the fourth set tiebreak before losing to Gonzalez and Massu 6-4 in the fifth. That's big time tennis from Henman. Wants to keep this run going, keep himself in front, keep his man down. And that was a massive point.
Boy, wasn't it ever. Finally able to finish. I was worried about the short backhand. Suddenly Kiefer's attacking the net. The Germans had some success up there, but Henman a sequence of backhand down the line and forehand to end the point. So a fair amount of tension right here at the start of this third set.
Advantage Henman.
That was a strange point. First the miss it from Henman, then Kiefer getting a little lucky, but that net cord stayed in the court. This turning into quite a crucial game at the beginning of the third.
Advantage Henman.
Now Henman could use more of those first serves. More planes flying overhead here out of LaGuardia Airport.
Oh yes, Kiefer, stunning forehand up the line.
Yeah, this you thought was good enough to earn him the point. Depth, spin.
Should Henman have given him the cross-court pass here?
Maybe, but he just looks like he may have moved a little bit too far to the center. But that was one heck of a shot.
Oh, that was that first volley from Henman. He's taken over the mantle of the best volleyer in the world. court tennis by both men, and again, keeper unable to take his chance, but Henman, well, he's like a goalkeeper at the net there, trying to stop that ball from getting past him.
Here's one, here's another. Yeah, good effort. Well, he keeps the run alive. 6 consecutive games. And I'm sure he's thinking, if I can get a break here, boy, this would be a big boost.
Fair comment, would you say that Henman, the best bowler in the world right now? When you watched Federer play at Wimbledon, he played a lot of his tennis at the back of the court.
Oh yeah, no, I think Henman's clearly the best volleyer. I mean, Federer is a fine player, great all-rounder, but I think when it comes to the volley, Henman knows how to produce volleys, not just in terms of technique, but from awkward positions and having to be creative up there. Henman is the man.
Henman is starting to enjoy the type of tennis as well that Kiefer's playing. He's sort of got in rhythm. Finally, you see him hitting through the backhand return.
Yeah, he even got over that one a little bit. There had some dip on the ball.
The keeper there actually getting caught going away from the net instead of closing it down.
Yeah, and Henman surprised him by actually reaching that ball and doing something with it. Nice little piece of invention cross court. And Kiefer dumped the volley. He's not going to make that list of best volleyers with that kind of play. Although you might. In your day, you were still, you know, top 200 when it came to the volleys.
That high?
On your best day, you were right there.
Such a good approach. Short, up the middle, impossible for Kiefer to do anything with.
And Kiefer now being beaten to the net by Henman. Early on, Kiefer was getting there ahead of the Brit. Now Henman has reestablished his dominance.
Eighth ace for Kiefer, but Henman convinced it was out. Hawkeye would suggest that it got enough paint on it to be considered an ace. Kiefer here, making those first serves. And every first serve in this set, Henman would dearly love him to miss this one. Third chance to break. Well, he did miss it, but Henman unable to take his chance. Tremendous get from Kiefer. Just wonderful hands on that lob.
Yeah, that was a solid volley by Henman. And Kiefer put the lob right on the line. And Henman does a pretty good job of getting to this. And he makes a play, forces the German to play another ball, but that's just too many steps away.
Yes.
Lovely cat and mouse types of points being played.
Yeah, Henman's always prowling the baseline, giving his opponent the impression that he's going to come in, then staying back, changing variety of speed and pace. No one does it better, unless perhaps it's Roger Federer.
Vintage Henman.
Advantage Henman.
Again, it looks as if it's a ground stroke, but he sneaks in, able to play the ball on the fly. Plenty of court to hit it into. And that is a good feeling. Can he capitalize again? Fourth time he's had a break point this game.
Oh, and Kiefer donates with the overhead. The sun's up there, but again, on the big moments, Kiefer has failed to deliver, and Henman continues this run. 7 consecutive games now.
Well, here is a look at the slow motion volley. Amazing detail in that video. A special camera courtside here at the US Open produces those images.
The first time it was used here was on the PGA Tour. I think it's something like 40,000 frames per second. Or to see that compression and see how much that racket just actually shakes in Henman's hand.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? It makes my elbow a little sore just to see that.
This is where Henman almost needs to be wary, because Kiefer's behind and he seems to relax and play some of his best tennis. One of his best passes. Henman said in his press conference after his match with Tabari, he's getting paid by the hour at this year's US Open. Still a pretty good rate, but another 2 more to add to the total. Almost 11 hours now for Henman on court.
Well, as is the nature of tennis, you know, you put in these 2 hours and there's nothing more important than this moment right here. Your hard work always takes you to the next important moment. sadly, the clock doesn't just run out and you're ahead. You have to break the tape at the end of the day.
Bidding today to become the first Briton through to the quarterfinals of the US Open since Greg Rusedski managed that feat back in 1997. Before that, it was John Lloyd who had made it through to the quarterfinals back in 1984. John Lloyd on that run through to his defeat against Jimmy Connors beat a certain Peter Fleming, who's on our team here in the opening round.
So he had a good draw. Well, sometimes you have to take advantage of those good draws.
Setting a few records of his own this year. First man through to the semi-finals of the French Open for 41 years. The previous Brit who had managed to reach it that far was Mike Sangster. Henman currently in full flow in this last 16 encounter.
Game, Henman, new balls, please.
What a difference a couple of hours makes. Henman 4-love down in that first set. All of a sudden, 3-love up in the third. Set all. Henman in charge.
With air conditioning, ABS, CD player, alloy wheels, plus a whole lot more. The generously equipped Focus Edge from 10,995. Pass it on.
Having trouble finding your perfect partner? With hundreds of thousands of cars in Auto Trader every week, you're bound to find yours.
The generously equipped Focus Edge from 10,995. Take a test drive at your local Ford dealer.
It's always dangerous to do, but you can't help thinking at this stage of the match with the way that Henman's playing that the quarterfinals is a distinct possibility. If he were to get there, it would be the winner of the match between Dominic Babati and Olivier Rochus would be his opponent. And I think Henman would have signed for either of those two players at the start of the tournament for a quarter-final play, for a semi-final play, sorry.
Yeah, and I think he's happy to see this man across the net here in the fourth round. So things are breaking Henman's way. Just has to stay the course.
Thank you, seats quickly. Thank you, seats quickly, please. Back of the court. Seats quickly, please. Seats quickly, please.
Labor Day here across America, and Kiefer is going to have to work hard. No vacation time for him. Still some people just taking their time to sit down in the seats.
Love.
This tennis centre here, the Arthur Ashe Stadium court, designed by the same company that did the one down at the Crandon Park Tennis Centre in the Miami Masters Series event. just getting the right balance to his approach play.
Yeah, and that is the optimal place to attack, deep into that forehand wing. Kiefer clearly not as comfortable with just the one hand on that side.
Henman just dominating the German at the moment. Kiefer, a man with 6 titles to his name, but the last one coming all the way back in 2000, in the fall of 2000. That was in Hong Kong. Also won another title that year in Dubai. Won 3 titles in 1999. It was the beginning of 2000. He had his career high ranking of 4. So he was with a certain Bob Brett.
Well, he has really slipped off his pedestal. I mean, early on, he was clearly the better man on the court. But now he is struggling mightily. Relatively easy error off the forehand. Can the Brit take advantage right here? Chance to go up 2 breaks in this 3rd set.
He does. Henman doing everything right, and Kiefer can't find the touch that saw him take that lead in the 1st set. And it's almost as though the German doesn't believe anymore. Henman, who's been having his injury troubles, and Kiefer, who's had his as well, with some ankle injuries that he had back in 2000, which sort of contributed to the slump that he had in the March of that year.
15.
His memory of 2002 US Open won't be particularly good for Nicholas Kiefer as well. He lost to Marat Safin in the longest match of that year. Well, actually it tied exactly 4 hours and 32 minutes. He played Safin and suffered with major leg cramps.
And Henman again playing with a variety, opting not to come in behind the 2nd serve, but cleaning up off the return from the back of the court. As Henman glancing up as another jet in its takeoff pattern from LaGuardia Airport. Passing just overhead.
Henman's doubles outnumbering his aces at the moment. 5 for the British number 1. And he almost has a spell over the German at the moment, and he just wants to keep it that way. LaGuardia Airport, named after a former mayor of New York. No doubt that Henman's play has contributed to the situation that Kiefer finds himself in at the moment. But I think his mental attitude at the moment is not helping the situation. to serve and volley off the second serve. Not a bad play when you saw how far kiefer was back behind the baseline. But the German, that innate ability to put the ball where you least want it. Break back point.
Now, Kiefer is a dangerous animal when he's down as far as he is, because he's taking swings now. He's loose. In many ways, he's conceded the set, so just taking some chances, trying to make something happen, and coming very close.
Advantage henman.
He can swing all he likes at that one, but all he'll get was fresh air. Fourth ace, second of the set for henman. Right, that is fifth ace. A lovely finish and a convincing finish to that game from Tim Henman. And kiefer trails by a massive love 5. Inside edge of the line, good shot of that one, just swinging away from Henman. His 9th ace.
Now, Kiefer not really sensing the importance of this game. I mean, if he can at least break this run of games against him, have some confidence to draw upon going into the 4th set. Otherwise, he surrenders the opening serve to Henman in the next set.
Starting to get a bit of the Olympic jinx about him as well, Kiefer. Henman again closing down the net and closing out this set, it seems, in emphatic style.
15-40.
Marty Fish out in the second round, the silver medalist Nicolas Massou out in the second round, the gold medalist from Athens. Fernando Gonzalez, a bronze medalist, out in the first round. And obviously, Massou Gonzalez with a gold medalist winners in the doubles as well. Schuttler out here as well. Kiefer saves the first of 2 set points for Henman. Maybe he does recognise the importance of this game. Double digits for aces, 10 for the German.
It's funny, you can say, well, 10 aces, it's a good number, but he really has not served a good match in particular. Struggled.
Advantage kiefer.
Just 53% of the first serves. Final tally actually hasn't served, strangely enough, particularly well in the tournament. Up until this match, his serve percentage was at 47.
Game kiefer.
So Henman unable to collect either of those 2 set points, and finally the run is broken. There's a run of 10 straight games for Tim Henman. Henman now with the opportunity to serve out this third set and take a 2-1 lead.
Yes, nice combination of first serve and a forehand from the middle of the court. So again, Henman selective about when he's serving and volleying and when he's staying back to play the ground stroke. So just a couple points away now. Oh, yes. A sensational backhand gets him to set point. And take a look at this shot right here.
Game.
Oh, the clinical way to finish the third set for Tim Henman. The British #1 has come from behind again. He was down a set, but now he leads the German by 2-1.
The new Citroën C2 with outstanding fuel efficiency. Now from 6,595 with gas injection system. The Citroën C3 with 4-star Euro NCAP safety rating. From 6,995, money bags fitted as standard. Citroën, innovators in value.
Lizzie Bradley is a sports superstar with only one thing on her mind.
I just want to focus on my game.
Until now.
I'm so sorry.
She's falling for you.
May I say goodbye?
Now she'll have to make one big decision.
You're together, she can't play.
From the makers of Bridget Jones comes a story about falling in love with the whole world watching.
He's apparently looking for someone.
I think the whole world knows who he's looking for.
Wimbledon.
Welcome back. Tim Henman looking good on the Arthur Ashe court. 2-1 to the good now over Germany's Nicholas Kiefer. Over on the Louis Armstrong court, there's a women's 4th round match in action as well. Shinobi Asagoe against Lenli Daniladu. Asagoe serving for the match here in the final set. 5-3 up and 30-15. The Japanese woman was 5-love up in that final set. She's having a little bit of a wobble here. But Asagoe serving for a place in the quarterfinals. You can go over to that match if you desire by pressing the red button on your digital remote. Back to Ashe though. Henman looking good. The British #1 vying for his first ever US Open quarter-final to face either Olivier Rochus or Dominic Hrabati. That's the next match on the Louis Armstrong court. 2 hours and 20 minutes played. Let's go back to Leif and Mark.
It's catching. Back problems are catching in New York. And Nicholas Kiefer now getting a little treatment from Bill Norris. Sorted out his nails earlier. Now he's getting his back warmed up. And how is Kiefer going to overcome his problems and overcome Henman, who's in fine form?
Well, he was having some mental problems, down 2-1, but now the physical problems setting in. So he's got a lot on his mind.
Starting to have more and more problems with his ball toss as well. difficult. A couple of backhands that Henman produced there, right up high, but getting over the top of them.
Yeah, and he played them the full length of the court. So Kiefer was unable to grab the advantage in the rally.
Thank you. Seats quickly, please. Back of the court.
Always plenty of stories going on around a Grand Slam, and just a little side one that's going on in the juniors over the next week will be Gael Monfils from France, who won his opening round match here, and Monfils, who's already won the Australian Open, the French Open and the Wimbledon Juniors, is on for the Junior Grand Slam.
Yeah, that young man possesses a serve, doesn't he? Wow.
I was watching him out yesterday evening practicing with certain John McEnroe. In many ways, it's a much bigger game for the German than it is for Henman. Henman has got his man down. Can he keep him there? Who hadn't progressed past the round of 16 at any other Grand Slam apart from Wimbledon before the start of this year. Broke through at the French Open. Has reached this round at the US Open 3 times previously.
14-15.
So Kiefer off to a bright start at the beginning of the fourth. This opening game on Henman's serve coming up will be fairly critical, and what a set of serving that was from Tim Henman. Never really allowed Kiefer in. 72% of his first serves finding the target, and it's the wonderful ratio of winners to unforced errors.
Well, Kiefer's trying to make Henman work. You can see he was scrapping, stretching every sinew to get one more ball back into play. But as you mentioned, Mark, those numbers tell you he's been pretty tidy about finishing points, taking advantage of his chances, and just has to maintain it now.
Can't tell you that Asagoe has gone through against Ndiladu. He has really missed some chances as well at times, Kiefer. Some really simple shots. A man of his stature in the world game. Oh, a little magic from Henman.
Well, things are going right for Henman. Able to steal that shot away. It was nearly by him. Reached back, found the winning angle cross court.
Henman again with some tremendous movement around the court, being able to cover the gaps at the back, and kiefer finding it harder and harder to deliver any winners. Just goes to show that even the sort of wins that kiefer had coming into this tournament, and the number of them and consistency of them, his confidence is still pretty fragile.
Well, Henman had a chance. Did well to get the return back into play. Kiefer has a magnificent record, 37-19, but only 2 wins this year over top 10 players. And he's beaten, as I said, the men he is supposed to beat.
They're the little touches that we've seen in the last couple of games that have been the reason why Henman has been so consistent in being able to stay in the top 10. Against most players, the return in that last game would have been good enough, and again, that serve would have been good enough, but Henman has grabbed both the points.
Kiefer digging in his heels somewhat here. Some first serves. Like the opening game of this set, trying to reestablish his belief that he can make a comeback and even win this match from 2 sets to 1 down.
14-15.
He's come back from 2 sets to love down a couple of times in his career, Kiefer. Enough of the ball touching the line, and Kiefer with his 12th ace takes his second game of the 4th set, but it's still Henman in charge in sets, 2-1, but Kiefer in games in the 4th.
Bacardi, welcome to the Latin Quarter.
Video player, bright color display, Bluetooth connectivity. In the Nokia 6230 phone. Nokia, connecting people.
Now with 2 years 0% finance. New Astra, Go Drive.
Time.
Henman trying very hard to make sure that nothing spoils his 30th birthday party. There's a few more people coming in to hopefully witness the celebration for Henman, but he's still got his work to do. 1-2, 4th set. There's a bit of breeze down there on the court, and I think just catching Kiefer unawares there, just late getting his feet up to the ball.
All these moments so crucial for both men. Any of these points at any time in the set can become turning points. Yeah, nice time to get a free one on the first serve.
I thought I got the line, Nicholas. The machine called it good as well. The machine called it good, and I thought it was good.
Well, our Hawkeye suggesting that one may have been out. The machine called it good. So Wayne McEwen, no chance to overrule. Have to go with the machine on the line.
Oh, henman covering the court like something else and pulls another one of those volleys out of his hat.
40-15.
No, I didn't think he'd reach this ball because Kiefer had lined this up, and watch, he gives it a head of steam right down the line. Oh, that's a remarkable shot.
Game henman.
Finishing his second service game as he did the first of this fourth with an ace. And henman again snapping at Kiefer's heels. And that's got to eat away at Kiefer as well when he hits a shot like that down the line, and henman produces a winner of that quality.
Yeah, I think he's probably beginning to shake his head saying, what do I have to do to make a real impression here? And now the pressure swings to the Germans' side. Can he hold on to his serve?
15 off.
Settling in comfortably here on the first serve, Kiefer.
Kiefer there again. I just think that's a brain freeze.
Yeah, that's a ball you have to make. At the very least, you force your opponent to run for something. Because you just cannot afford to be charitable at this time of a match on such a shot.
Does it also illustrate that he's not as comfortable up there as well?
Yeah, I think so. Because he didn't really use his legs and took it for granted that he had the point won.
30-15.
Keeper knows that if he can just keep hanging on to his serve and just allow the scoreboard really to start applying the pressure as we get deep into this fourth set. That won't help his cause, his fifth double full. And henman lurking, trying to get another break. Oh, what a close again. So sharp.
The full length of the court opens up just a sliver of room in the front court. And henman is able to find it. Slotted that beautifully.
And a huge moment here for henman. A chance take a break in this fourth set. He leads by 2-1. Oh no. Well, I don't think he could have reached it. And a huge amount of good fortune for the German here.
Yeah, unintentional. Uses the bottom of the frame.
Sometimes matches can turn on shots like that. So henman so close to going up a break in the fourth set. But it isn't to be, and Kiefer rides his luck and stays in front, 3-2.
She is brilliant.
She, that would be me.
There's something about Sandy.
You really want to kiss him right now, don't you?
There's something about Sandy.
It is an indicator. It's a personality type.
There's something about Sandy.
No!
4 days with America's Sweetheart, including the premiere of 2 Weeks' Notice.
Absolutely beautiful. And the only one of her kind.
The Sandra Bullock Long Weekend. Friday to Monday this weekend on Sky Movies.
And away those courses go. But what dastardly deed is this? Hey, a sneaky shortcut. Now what's he up to? Uh-oh. Bye-bye. But what's this? Black Sapphire heads for the finish post. The post really finishes him.
Luckily, courses have free insurance and start from $6,995.
Henman was agonisingly close to taking that break and continuing his dominance of Kiefer. We may well look back at that moment in an hour or so and say, well, that was where Kiefer's luck changed. He managed to survive. He definitely seems to be struggling a little bit physically as well, the German. And Henman now with new balls. It's been Henman that has defended his second serve a lot better than Kiefer has managed to do. In this match, Henman has won 53% of the points on his second serve. Very creditable performance. And Kiefer, just a mere 35%. Oh yes, good control by Kiefer.
15 all.
Now that's a reminder of the early stages of the match. And Kiefer was lacing, passing shots like that. So that'll restore some belief.
aces at the moment. He's 8th now. He's 51st for the tournament. Henman just seems to have such a clear strategy in how he wants to approach all of these points, how he wants to play against Kiefer. And something that Paul Hannigan talked about at the beginning of the week, clarity. And the strategy has proved fruitful in the Grand Slams this year for Henman.
And of course, when you have that clarity, you know what your game plan is. It allows you to relax. And you see Henman, he has a bit of flow about him. That means he's not restricted, not doubting himself, very little fear. And that's when you can allow your best tennis to come out.
Have a big tie coming up against Austria, who did well in these championships, as do Germany. And Kiefer likely to be nominated to represent his country for the upcoming match against the Slovak Republic, who are having a great tournament with Habati through and Carol Beck. Kiefer, part of the doubles team that lost to Belarus last year, and forcing Germany out of the world group for the first time in 21 years.
Well, Germany will no doubt profit from having Tommy Haas back in the German side. Haas out all last season with shoulder surgery, playing well here, still very much alive in the singles.
And has a fantastic Davis Cup record, 12 wins, just the 1 loss, Tommy Haas, compared to Kiefer's 7 wins and 9 losses. Hasn't produced his best for his country in Davis Cup. He's not producing his best in this game.
Yeah, see, these little mistakes, you know, where he's setting up the opportunity to win the point. He's not going for a clear winner. Really led to so many struggles. He's just making his day so difficult with bad errors.
Oh, he almost pulled it off.
Yeah, he did well just to get the serve back in play. Nearly, very nearly put together a miracle pass up the line.
Made the right move, took the forehand on.
And Kiefer putting that serve right on the back edge of the line. So both men flirting with danger.
Again, that looked a little deep, it has to be said, on the service line, but Kiefer survives, and Henman again will have to come out and serve from behind.